everybody, and cheers to it finally being autumn and the spooky season. So, you know, the cup has to come out, although, to be fair, I use it all year round, so... Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'm back in my fantasy era. I'm also in my villain era, and I'll explain that later. But I have been in a very long fantasy slump. And I thought I wanted to get back into it because it's one of my favorite genres. And I picked up a book which put me straight back in there. I've made a whole video about this book. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about some of my favorite recent fantasy reads and things that I've just been loving. And then I'm going to also recommend some other books that I've either read or are on my TBR that have the same kind of tropes and on that same genre. So if you like that book, you might like that one. You know how that works. So the book I was talking about in the beginning is Long Live Evil. I've made a whole video about this, so you can check that out. I won't talk about this too much, but this pulled me back into my fantasy and my villain era. Thank you very much. This book has all of the elements that I love. So we've got a tough female lead who is morally grey. I hate those saccharine kind of Captain America type characters. No. I like my characters with a better moral edge. And she is essentially the villainess of the story. And this book is beautiful. It's got the fantasy, it's got the heart, it's got the character building, it's got the world building. It has, like I said, these gorgeous, tough female characters. There's a bit of romance. There's some diversity, so rep in here. It has humor. And that's one of the main things that I really loved about this. This book made me laugh and it made me cry. So I'm on the hunt for more books kind of like this that have, there's action in it. There's a tournament section in it. And again, we'll get to that. That's something I love. But I'm on the hunt for more of these books that also are, you know, fantasy and fun and have action in them, but also have some humor in them. So the one that I've got, and if you know any of those, let me know. Please leave them in the comments below. Is this one over here, Assistant to the Villain. And I just think that this is going to be that. It's going to have the humor because on the back it says, Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties. Supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general. Discretion a must. Excellent benefits. It sounds fabulous. So, you know, I'm going to read that based on that one. Then the next, I've fallen in love with this fantasy book. So, 5 Broken Blades by Maya Corland. Where do I even begin? So, I love everything about this book. Let me pause here and do this. So, my favorite fantasy books of all time are Nevernight by J. Kristoff, and most of you will probably know certainly if you like fantasy. And one of the things that I really love about this is these kind of Mia Corvair in this one. She's this really tough, very morally grey, very morally black character. There's a kind of a found family element in this, which also 6 of crows. I don't know where that is, but now that we've got ravens, we need some crows. Again, I love that. There's a tournament in this one. There's kind of, so this one is like a heist. Well, no, this one isn't a heist. This one is an assassination. And you've got kind of that element in here as well. And I just feel like if you like Nevernight, and I highly, highly recommend Nevernight, you'll love 5 Broken Blades. And also if you like 6 of Crows. So what this one is about is essentially there's this plot to kill the God King. And being a God King, kind of hard to kill. So they have to get this band of people together, these 5, there's actually more than 5, but people together to assassinate this king and put someone else on the throne. And so the people that they put together, you've got a poison maiden. She's her backstory, I love it, and she's basically deadly. You have this thief Maya, and then the guy she hires to actually probably keep her safe from the other people she's working with, who's like a hired gun. You've got like one of the king's assassins, king's guards, who's running the whole thing. You've got these various people that all have their things, their foibles, but they all come together to basically enact this plot. And I love that. I love these kind of different stories. I actually really like the switching POVs, and this switches POVs like this. So if you don't like that, you won't like it, but I like it. I like reading the different POVs. Also, it says best liar wins. The best liar win. And again, they're all hiding something, secrets, lies, but they're all kind of getting together. There's real heart in this. I just love this, and I cannot wait for the sequel. Sequel comes out in January, I believe. I'm literally kind of hanging on for that. So based on that one, on my TBR now is Among Thieves. And this one basically says, Rhea the Butcher has earned her reputation as the quickest, deadliest blade in the city, not to mention the sharpest tongue. Mia vibes. Yet a deadly secret has kept Rhea in hiding. May the best liar win. A death-defying heist is all that stands between Rhea and her freedom, but even the Butcher can't do it alone. Unfortunately for Rhea, her new allies all have plans of their own. This is just giving me, so this is by MJ Kuhn, and it's absolutely giving me Five Broken Blade vibes, so cannot wait to read that. And then also, I'm so excited that I found that it was in a charity shop. So this is actually a Fairy Loot special edition of this book. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. And it's Master of One. And this is basically six Fey relics, one daring thief, the score of a lifetime. And I believe this is, this person's been tasked to find these relics, and these relics turn out to be people. And then these people kind of get together to overthrow this particular plot. So just, again, all of the vibes that those books bring. So I'm very excited about that. Then, vampires. Let's talk about vampires. They're amazing. And Serpent in the Wings of Night by Cressida Broadbent. I have seen this hyped and talked about, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give in. I'm going to give in. It's got vampires. Let's do it. Let's read it. And I did not regret it. I love this book. I have the sequel right over here. So that's ready to read. And this, again, obviously it has vampires. So I was in because it has vampires. But also it's got this tournament in it. So you've got a girl who's a human. She was rescued by the Vampire King. Her whole family was killed, her village was destroyed, and he's basically been raising her in the Night Court. But obviously she's a human in the Night Court, so, you know, bad times. So there is this sort of tournament that the goddess Nixia runs, and you can enter this tournament, and it's basically a tournament to the death. You basically fight everybody until there's one person left, and that person is granted a wish, and what she's trying to do is basically get power. So she enters this tournament, and the whole book is kind of the stages of the tournament, which I like. There's also romance, a very, very good slow burn romance. Love the love interest in this. Like all the side characters. This is a duology. The next book is going to be on one of the side characters. And again, she's so tough, even though she's just an ordinary human. She gets the better of these vampires, which I love. And on that note, you've got Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So this is on my TBR because it basically says you've got, again, the lead character in this is just an ordinary in this world. She doesn't have any powers, I believe, because everybody has powers in this particular world. And you've got the elites who have these powers, and they also have a tournament every year. And she's kind of pretending to have some powers, and then she's going to enter this tournament with the elites. So it just gave me, even though there's no vampires in this, it gave me those vibes, and it has the tournament in it. So, like, yes, I'm there. For the vampire vibes, I couldn't even say that, is Mistress of Lives by K.M. Enright. And not a cover by at all. So this is basically a kind of like, so the main character in this, and what I really loved about the description of the main character, it says, a villainous heroine finds herself plunged into a seductive world of power, politics, and murder in the court of the Vampire King in this bloodthirsty debut. So we've got the court of the Vampire King. Apparently there's like someone gets murdered and she's trying to investigate the murder, but she herself, she's hiding something in her background, and like it says, villainous. So we love that. So yes. Then the next one that I just adore is this. Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. I cannot believe this has been sitting on my shelves for as long as it has. It is witches. It's set in modern day London. It's like if The Craft, Charmed, Buffy, Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures all came together and had a baby. it would be this series. I'm going to do a whole video on this, so I won't talk too long, but I absolutely love it. And I also have this gorgeous, look at that, from Goldsboro Books edition. That is the sequel that I cannot wait. But this is all of the witchy vibes. If you are looking for a witch book, please pick this up. It is gorgeous. It goes dark. There's teenagers in here, but it goes dark. But it is just fantastic. So that's my lot. I could talk more, but I won't. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell me if you've read any of those. Tell me if you have any recommendations based on all of those tropes and bits that I was talking about. And I will see you all very soon. Enjoy the spooky vibes. Bye.